Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is the middle of October. It's crazy. I'm going to just make sure I'm in the right spot. If you're watching live, let me know you're here. And if you're catching the replay here on Facebook or on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Yep, it looks like everything's good. I got some things to share with you today, and it's actually a busy week this week. I've got a virtual retreat next weekend, so all of those kits needs to go out this week. So there's lots of prep happening. I've got all the pillow gifts done, and then now I'm just working on finishing up the make and takes. Prepping them is really what we're working on. Cutting, prepping, packaging, labeling, all the things. And then I gotta start shipping or packing boxes. So that's kind of the big task for today, but I also have a deadline today because I am gonna be a vendor at Crop on the Cape in March 2026. And our classes are due today. So what I thought I would do today, this is a little nerve-wracking, but it needs to get done, and so does this. So it might be a little longer than normal, but my plan is to actually, and I don't know if I'll finish the whole thing, it depends on how long it takes and how well my brain is working, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit about how I plan a class. So I'm going to actually prep one of my classes, or at least one of the layouts for one of my classes with you today. So if you've ever been curious about how a class comes to life, this video might be interesting. It might not. And you can bow out whenever you want. But I do want to share a couple of things with you first, and then we'll get into designing a layout for a future class. So let's go ahead and turn this around. Let me know if you're watching live. I always like to know if there's anybody here. And that you're pretty straight. All right, it looks like we're good. So a couple things I wanted to remind you about, announce, say, share, all the things. So look what came in my mail yesterday. These are the paper pumpkin boxes for October. And I've kind of been a little bit ignoring paper pumpkin lately, and I really want to get back to doing more with this. So I upped my subscription, so I get 4 boxes a month now, and my plan is to do an unboxing video and a scrapbooking video with every new box. And I'm telling you this so you guys can hold me accountable. So watch for a hi Josie, unboxing video on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss anything. And if you're watching on Facebook, go on over to By the Shore Stamping on YouTube and click subscribe so you won't miss any of these. So there'll be 2 paper pumpkin videos a month. The first will be just the unboxing, and I'll put together a set of the cards or whatever the project is during the unboxing. And then the second video will be taking the leftovers from that one set of cards and using it to make a scrapbook page. So that way, whether you're a card maker or a scrapbooker, you can see the versatility of these kits. They're so amazing lately. They're I just love them so much. They're such good quality, so many fun little elements that come only in these kits. So I wanted to share that a little bit more with you. So that's coming, so stay tuned for that. Also, this week, from October 22nd through the 24th, we've got 3 days of free shipping if you spend $75 or more. So that is Wednesday through Friday, right? Today's the 21st. So yeah, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So yes, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. If you spend $75 or more, you'll get free shipping. And I actually have some class kits, like the virtual class kits. I have a bunch of those, I think, hanging around. So maybe I'll pop some of those in the mail for those of you that order this week too, just as an added little bonus. I will say I'm so behind on my thank you cards, but I promise they're coming, and I apologize if I haven't gotten you a little thank you note yet. It is coming, I promise. I think I gotta go back to August, so I'm terrible right now, but I promise I'm gonna get on that. It's just been so crazy with vacation and all the things. Anyway, so that is also happening. I wanted to remind you too about the, what is this called? 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. So this is still available. I thought it went away, but it is still in the store. This is so much fun, whether it's a gift for you or for someone else. It comes with the stamp set. All the product inside is everyday. So even though it's Christmas packaging, it's everyday product that's inside, and everything kind of coordinates once it's all open. So I am not opening mine. I'm going to keep it a surprise, so I'm not going to spoil any secrets, so don't worry. I do happen to know what's in 1 and 2 just because they showed us in a Leaders Live a few weeks back when this was first launched. But I just wanted to let you know it's here. It's $99. You get the stamp set plus the product and the exclusive product that's inside. Again, not Christmas product, just everyday product, is valued at $125, I believe. So lots of good value and such a fun surprise for yourself this Christmas. So buy yourself a little treat, right? $99 for that, plus tax and shipping. However, if you wanted to take advantage of one of the starter kit deals, you could totally do that and grab yourself one of those advent calendars as part of your kit. So this is still going on too through the end of the month. 2 ways to join us. You can join for $35 and pick $125 worth of product. So you could grab that advent calendar if you wanted, and maybe a pack of Stampin' Dimensionals or something. Or maybe you want to just get some basic graphics supplies. If you're brand new to this, you could get, you know, your paper trimmer and cardstock and all the things. Or option 2 is the $99 kit, and you get to pick $189. So now you're paying the same amount that you would pay for that advent calendar, except you're getting free shipping, and you'll get to pick another $90 worth of free products in addition to that, right? Let me do some math. Yeah, $90. So that's amazing, right? So you get this amazing little thing for yourself, and then you could also get another $90 worth in product of your choice for free on top of that. So that's just one option. Of course, you don't even have to do the kit. You could do whatever you wanted in your starter kit. That's the beauty of this. So it's $35 or $99 plus tax, free shipping on both, and this goes through the end of the month. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right. So as I said, oh no, your paper pumpkin's starting. You didn't realize it. Oh no. I thought it usually continued, but maybe the card changed or something. That's a bummer, but now that you're back as a demonstrator, you'll get your discount on that too. So I think you can go ahead and set that back up. If you're missing a paper pumpkin kit that you want, Liz, let me know, because I probably have them. All right, so what I usually do, so this class is using the, oh shoot, I should have written down the name of it. It's one of the sticker sheet paper pack combos. And so I think it's called the Lovely Day, maybe? It features the Charming Day Designer Series paper, and then I actually had the coordinating cardstock too, and then the sticker sheet. And so I'm going to design 2 2-page spreads for my upcoming crop, for the Crop on the Cape class. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to end up doing a 2-page spread class that they'll get the pattern paper and the sticker sheet as part of class, and then of course I'll give them all the other supplies we need. I still am a little slower with scrapbooking than I am with card making, just because I got so used to making cards, even though I started as a scrapbooker, that sometimes making scrapbook pages comes a little slower to me. So I like to start with a little prompt. So this is the page maps. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to this, but you can get their monthly email, and they have a PDF printable tutorial, or not tutorial, printable inspiration sheet every month. And so I use this a lot just as a bouncing off point. So I don't necessarily copy them exactly. I think I'm going to kind of take this one here as my jumping off point. It may end up being totally different, but I'm going to use that as sort of my launch pad. However, sometimes, like if I don't love the double page spread, but I want a double page spread, like I see these two as really cute, and you could make it as like a left and right page. I might alter it just a little bit so that the pictures are in the center and the decorations are more towards the outside, but I just kind of use it as a starting point. So I'm going to use this one kind of as my base, and I've already selected for the 2 pages, I'm going to use the basic beige as one layer. And then on the other double page, I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow. So that will be my other page. I'm only going to do one of these right now just because I don't want to be here forever, and sometimes it does take me a little bit. And then this is the paper I'm going to use and coordinate. And I'll add in some other pieces of the pattern paper too, but that's going to kind of be my focal piece for this one. That's the one I'm going to do later, I think. I'm going to focus on this one because I love this paper. So this is what I'm focusing on for this double page spread. So as you can see here, they have pattern paper on the bottom and pattern paper on the top, and then like a strip of cardstock in the middle, it looks like here. So I think I'm going to kind of follow that same idea. And then here, it looks like they have some sort of border or edge. I think I'm going to do a torn edge because I like that kind of look, but I don't want to have to die cut a whole strip of stuff for people. I try to keep the die cutting to a minimum when I'm doing classes because it's just a lot more prep work. Sometimes I don't follow my own rules. Like when we were up till midnight last Friday trying to finish prep for a card class because I went a little crazy. So I think what I'm going to do is, and you'll notice they kind of put the pattern at the top and then the more stable pattern at the bottom. So kind of a grounding element. So I think I'm going to use this as my skinnier strip on the bottom. And I'm going to use this at the top because we're going to use more of it. And it's just going to be more of a focal point. So that's going to be my first step for this. And the cool part is you only need one piece of each to be able to do this. So let me go ahead and I'm going to probably cut, let's say, and I can't scrapbook without a ruler. So let me see here. I think 3 will be good, and that's a good measurement for my pattern paper because I think I'm gonna do 3 and 2. And what does that give me in between? Let's see. Here, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I'll do 4. I think I'm gonna do 4 and 2. All right, so this one we're gonna cut 2 4-inch strips. Okay, so 4 and 4. And I tend to be a very linear scrapbooker, and I also tend to be very symmetrical when I scrapbook. Some of you may not be like that. And when I do single pages, I'm a little less like that. I just like the symmetry on a two-page spread. All right, so this one, we're gonna cut 2 2-inch strips. And this part for class, they will actually cut these themselves most likely because they're going to get the whole pack of paper. So I will have like little cutting guides for them, but I won't have to do this prep work. So right now, the only thing I've had to prep is nothing because they got these, which automatically are cut. So first up, we're going to take this and we're going to put the pretty floral at the top. I am also one that I will not tape anything down until I am sure that I like it. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to put these, like the bolder kind of color at the bottom, just like I said, kind of grounds the layout a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and stick that here. And I know you can't really see the whole thing. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit, maybe. No, I can't. So hopefully you can see at least a good part of it. I'll move it over a little bit. There we go. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. So there's that. Now I've got this strip in the middle, and I think it's going to be about 6, right? Yeah, I planned it so it's about 6 inches. So my thought is, I would love to do Lost Lagoon actually, but I don't think Lost Lagoon is in here. So let me see. I'm just looking at the color cardstock that's in here. I could use the pretty peacock. Oh, you know what I could do is use the back side of this. I think that would be good because this comes in. I could use the darker side too. All right, so I should have went probably a little bit longer. I should have cut these just at 6 most likely, because now when I do 6 it's gonna fit right inside and I kind of want it to overlap. So I think to remedy that problem, because I typically have a lot of white, I'm gonna actually do a white layer. And you'll see, hold on, let me find my white. I only have one piece here. Let me grab another one. Hold on, because I'm gonna need 2 because I messed up. Let's see. All right. Let's grab 2 of these. There we go. All right, so, oops. So what I'm going to do, the reason why I need 2 is because I'm going to do 6 1/4 on both of these. So, like I said, I typically have quite a bit of white cardstock, so I'll just have to fix that. But I'm okay with that. So, because we can use the leftover piece, this piece that's not quite 6 1/4, for other things. So I'm going to just go ahead, cut 2 of these at 6 1/4. And then, I'm going to cut this piece in half at 6. And you'll see I can layer these together now. Okay. So let's just do that. Okay. let's put this to the side. And for some reason, my trimmer is acting up, so I'm just going to kind of cut off this fuzz that's on the top here. I think it's time for new trimming blades, and I think I said that the last time I was live. I have 2 trimmers actually, and so I actually have 3. I have 2 Stampin' Up trimmers, and so sometimes I forget, like I don't use the one that's here at my table until I'm live, and then I forget, oh yeah, I needed some new blades. All right, so now we've got this, right? And again, I don't tape it down until I'm fully sure that I like it. So we're gonna it's kind of frustrating sometimes because everything moves around, but it's okay. So then this is gonna go in the middle here, so it kind of overlaps those 2 layers, right? And one here. Okay, and maybe I might even like leave a little bit of the basic beige at the bottom. I mean, the bottom and the top, and then that will actually allow me to fully layer those. And I sometimes like just to have that little bit of color at the top too. So then we'll do this, whoops, that, and then this, and then we're going to tuck this one up a little bit too. Okay, so that's that. Now, I do have a little bit of this left over, which is a nice little color, but I'm not sure if I want to use that color, or there's other papers in here that they're going to have. So, do I want to use maybe a pop of this? Let's see what the other, ooh, the orange might be pretty. I'm trying to pull out one of the other colors in here, although I think the blue might work. This is for that torn edge at the top, because yeah, I think the only other color is the orange, and the orange really isn't, I don't think it's going to pop as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leftover piece that we have, and I'm going to cut it into, let's just do like 1.5 inches so that I have enough room for tearing. So 1.5 inches there, 1.5 inches here. And sometimes when I do this on the fly, I might decide later, like, oh, it's easier if I just give them like one whole piece or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the cutting and stuff may change. All right, hi Marcia. So now I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna tear it. And I'm gonna let it have some good movement to it. And I always tear towards myself, right? And then we can kind of stick this up here just to almost make it look like it continues, right? And it just makes, it's gonna make those photos pop. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna just tear it. Okay. All right. And then this is gonna get stuck under here, okay? And they don't have to line up exactly. All right, so now we're kind of taking the basic layout from the beginning, right? So here's what we were working with. And now I can add my photos. And I'm thinking I want to do Lost Lagoon, because that's that like light blue color. Or I could use that peach calypso color. But I think, well, let's just look. It's calling it Timid Tiger, I think, in the cardstock collection. But let me see which one we like better. So we could do, I don't have a lot of this color, which is kind of similar. Or my first thought was to do Lost Lagoon, which is this color. Yeah, I think I like the Lost Lagoon better. What do you guys think? This is going to be spring, so this is going to be March 2025. So I know that the peach color might be a little bit more springy, but I just like that color vibe better. What I do love about the page maps too is they'll tell you what the size of the photos are. So they're doing 3 3/4 by 5 times 4, and then they have 3 1/4 by 2.5 times 4. And I like a layout that has a lot of photos. So I think I'm gonna probably follow that idea. So 3 3/4 by 5.5. So this is 5.5. So let's do 3 3/4. 1, 2, And then 3 and 4. So now, so far for the class, the only thing I have to cut is this white piece, which is really simple. And I could even give it to them. I could give them 2 white pieces. And then so far, these photo mats, which I have 4, 3, and again, I could give them a full sheet of paper to do it themselves. So it depends. Sometimes I like to do it in advance because I like, at a crop, for them to be able to do stuff quickly so they can get back to work on their own projects. I don't know about you, but when I go to a crop, I want to be able to get as much done as possible. So if I can go to a class where most of the prep work is done and I can get something done, get some ideas, and then go back to work, I'm a very happy girl. So, 3.5 by, what is it? 2.5 by 3 1/4. Let me cut these. All right. I can't talk and do measurements, you guys. I'm gonna mess something up. 3 1/4. All right. So now I've got, yeah, I like the Lost Lagoon too, Carrie. I'm glad you agreed. All right. Again, my trimmer is a little ornery today. I need a new blade. I don't know where they are at the moment. I think they're on the other side of the room. So I'm going to just cut off that fuzz that are on these. Hey, dude. Of course, I'm getting it all over my layout, but that's fine. Sorry, this is just an added step that we don't really need. But we're being productive, you guys. I was like, what am I going to do for live today when I have a bazillion and 12 things to finish up? Like, I'm in the middle of 16 projects, I swear. But this is helping me get something done, and I'm hoping that it's interesting to see how somebody, you know, pulls together a class. So this would be me if I was processing this on my own. So there's that one. Almost done here. Getting all the fuzz off the edges. That one looks pretty good. And then this one has a little fuzz. We'll cut that off. Okay. And last one. I should find my other trimmer. See if it's any better. We did a lot of cutting and prepping last week, so I think it's time for new blades. Alright. We're good. Okay. So now, let's put this back together because it kind of fell apart here. They have it, and I think I'm going to leave it the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of put the 4 large photos, or I think it was 3 here, right? 3. I do really like when I can have a lot of photos on one page. And of course, you can always wait to do the photo mats until you know what you're putting in here. I will probably leave them late and add something. I'll leave them empty rather and add something later. How did I end up with the wrong size here? See, I can't cut and talk at the same time because I cut this the wrong way. It's too long. So it's supposed to be 3 1/4, not 3 1/2. Alright. Now I have the spot for these little photos, right? And again, it's very linear. You could make it less linear if you wanted. And you could switch it up too. Like maybe you want these along the top, right? But I'm going to leave it like this. And then we can put a border, a title in right here. And of course, they're going to get the sticker sheet. So we can use this as part of the embellishing. So I think I'm going to actually commit to this part and then add the embellishing after. The only thing I'm thinking is I have this really cool, although it's on back, not back order, it's on last chance, so I don't know if I'd be able to get enough. But like I have this really fun ribbon. People don't really see it all that much, but it's one of my favorites. It's gold mesh. and I think it would look really pretty with this, so I was thinking about maybe tying it in like a knot down here, but I think I'm going to skip that because, again, this is a spring layout. This class is in March 2026, so we'll keep it pretty springy, and gold doesn't really say spring to me all that much, although, whoops, I just dropped my, I do have this petal pink braided trim, and that might be cute to put like along the bottom down here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's cute little braided trim. But again, I don't have to wrap that around anything, so I'm going to go ahead and let's start layering this together, and then I can embellish. So first up, we're going to take my adhesive, and we're going to, like, I layer one first, get it the way I want, and then I line it up with the other page. So we're just going to probably about like a 1/2 inch from the bottom, or from the top there, and we'll just layer that there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this other half. I'm keeping it really simple because, again, I don't know how many people are going to be in this class. I think I have it set as a limit of 15, so I want to be able to walk them through everything without it getting too complicated. Alright, so next, this is going to kind of go across the middle, and I'm going to keep that flat. So we'll just flip that over, and I don't know why I flip white cardstock over. It doesn't really matter, but I think we all do it, right? So I'm going to go ahead, just kind of stick that on here, like that. Okay, and then we can put our, I might put these on with dimensionals. I don't know. It just gives a little interest, perhaps. So, I don't know. Do I want to? Do I not want to? I think I will. Sometimes it's nice to layer the elements a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll do it flat, because then I can layer. Whoops. And I like to position these first so that I don't have that happen. So I'm going to just kind of even these out and then tape them on. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little over on that one. Alright, so let's just do these flat. And then we can pop up some of the stickers and embellishments and things. Alright, so I'm going to do this. Okay, here's one. I don't know what's on that cardstock, but I'm just going to put it on the back side and nobody will see it. So then I have this one. Then we're going to do this one. Okay. Alright. There. Oh, crapola. I forgot this. But I think I left enough room that it'll be fine. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that in under there. And we'll just add a little adhesive so it doesn't go anywhere. And one more. There. Okay. So there's that side. I think it's really cute. It's just simple, right? But of course, we're going to embellish a little bit more. But first, let me get this side attached. And so I like to line the base pieces up so that I can get them lined up as best as possible. So we're going to go ahead and tape this side down. And there is a coordinating stamp set. There's actually two with this. I don't have the one that's like designed to be scrapbooking focused, which I probably should have, but I don't have it now and it needs to be designed today, so that's just the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the one that is part of the Charming Day suite, and that will be enough. So, sorry, people honking outside. Alright, so do that. And I'm going to line these up as best I can. Okay, we'll put that along here. All right, then this goes on next. And, oh, nope, 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 don't do it again. We want to put this down first. I almost did it again. And I'm just going to kind of line up that pattern there. There we go. Make sure that's, yeah, that works. Some fuzz on here. Take that off. I'm gonna actually put that down towards the bottom anyway. So then we add this on, lining it up with the other side. Okay, like so. And then it's now the photo time. So we're going to add these on, kind of continuing, same spacing. So I'm going to do right about there, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and tape this one down before I do the others. And I might actually pop up the smaller ones, I think. So let's do this. We'll attach it, leaving about the same space in here. Okay, and then these, I want to kind of overlap them into the printed area. I'm going to layer them out again so that I can make sure they're in the right spot, and then I will attach them. So that looks pretty good. Like I said, I think I'm going to do a little bit of dimensionals here. And I do tend to do a little more on the backs of my photo mats just because I don't want them to sag once they're in the book. So I'm going to just put, that's a lot, but whatever. You can do you. If you don't want to use that many, don't use that many. Sometimes, that's good too to use those strips, right? Or like an adhesive sheet or something. I just don't want it to be saggy. So we're gonna do less is more, but more is less here. We'll do one less this time. I don't need one in the middle too. Kind of bordered it in the middle, in the edge. Okay. And that one's gonna go right here. Perfect. Next up, we have the corners. Then we're gonna kind of do center here. There we go. And then put that one here, and we have one more, and then we'll start doing a little bit of embellishing here to finish off this layout, and then I'll have one of my 2 layouts done. Thanks for sticking with me, you guys. I'd love to know your process if you're a scrapbooker. How do you approach? Do you start, I mean, typically if I was scrapbooking for myself, I would actually start with the photos. Just because that's usually my most important part, right? It's not really about the product. But because I'm designing this for a class, I'm going to start with the springy-like product, and then we'll build from there. And I'm sure I can find something to fit in there. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use this little petal braid down the bottom here. But I'm going to wait until I kind of embellish a little bit more. So we have these really cool stickers, and I'm loving this little half circle. I think that would be a really good journaling point. I'm just trying to decide where I want that to go. So I think I obviously need a good bulky, like something in here. So I don't know if I want to do, I don't really love the big smiles because it's white on white. So I kind of want something that's a little more pop. But what I could do is maybe stick this really pretty flower in here. Although this one is not the best one because it doesn't have any purple in it. So I'll probably use this one as an element. So let's take this off. And I'm definitely going to pop this up. So what I actually like to do is I want to take the sticky out of this. And the best way to do that, and do I have it over here? Is your embossing buddy. And I don't know that I have mine. Hang on one second, let me grab it. It's going to be a great tool. Here we go. It's just going to take the stick out of the sticker, because I don't want it to stick to anything yet, because we still need to put our photos in under here. So I'm going to actually take this. You could also like stick it to your pants a few times to kind of release that stickiness. And this is just going to kind of take some of that stick factor out so that it's not sticky anymore. So I can rub my hand over it. And so now I can put dimensionals on here, and I can layer it on top of here, and I'm not going to put any sticker or anything, any sticky under here, so that I can still tuck my photo underneath. But I'm thinking I'm going to kind of stick that down here. So I'll put some dimensionals on this. Yeah, that retreat was really good to kind of start with the pages, and then like I did when I was doing that retreat workshop, the one which is still available actually, if you don't know what we're talking about. It's the month-to-month virtual album retreat. And you started with the product and the pages, and then you build those and add the photos after it. And I found it really helpful to think about what photos I was going to put there, but I didn't actually use the photos until the pages were done. And I really need to finish that so that I can post all of those, because they came out amazing. I hope you guys, I hope you liked yours too, Liz. All right, so you'll notice I didn't put any over here because they overlap those photos, and I don't want, and actually I do need one here because I don't want it to sink, but I'm not going to pull the backing off. I'm going to leave that on so that it stays put. Let's see. Here we go, like that. Okay, but now you can see I can still get under here so that I can put my pictures in when I'm ready for. So, oh, baby powder works too. So yeah, that's just going to kind of hold that, right? And now maybe I can use that big smiles on top of the flower as like a title. Let's see, what else? Let's make the most of today. Happy days. I like this one. Actually, that one might be good. Let's see. Happy days. Like kind of like here. I think that would be cute. So, I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on this side. And I can go ahead and stick this down because there's no photos underneath. This is already sticky. I'm going to leave it sticky because I'm going to overlap it on the flower and kind of line it up along this line. So it's just kind of following that line. Happy days. I like that. Okay. So there's that. So we're getting this finished picture here. Now, like I said, I still love this for like a little journaling spot, and I might stick it up here, maybe. And we can go back to our scrap, right? And see, they put like a cluster down here, and then they have a cluster over here. So I'm thinking I might build a little cluster around that little circle. I don't think I'm going to take the sticky off. I think I'm going to kind of stick it underneath like this, or do I want to stick it under here? Actually, I might stick it under here like that, and then that will be like one spot for a little bit of journaling, like maybe the date, some names, that kind of thing. And then what else can I put in here? Maybe this guy, and maybe the leaves to go with it. So again, I'm going to use my little embossing powder. We're going to take the stick out of this, and then we'll add some dimensionals. So there's that. Let me use the other one. Yeah, that's going to be awesome, Liz. I'm so excited. It'll be a great way to get an album done really quickly and be ready to just cuddle and love on that baby when it arrives instead of trying to make pages, right? All right. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to stick some dimensionals, if I know what I did with those. Here they are. So we're going to do this. And like I said, we could do some stamping in here, but because I'm going to do this as a class, I probably will avoid doing that just because, again, I have no idea how many people will be in class, and sometimes stamping during class for a layout class can be a little bit time consuming. So I'm going to kind of stick this overlapping the white, but not the photo mat. So we'll stick that there, and then maybe have that coming over here maybe. It's not overlapping the picture, so I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Cute, cute. I like it, I like it. So we've got a little bit of stuff going on here, right? I think I still want some more. So what else? We've got happy days. Good times maybe would be cute. Full hearts, adventure. I'm trying to stick to the color, so I don't really want to do any of the purple ones. We could kind of do this. This color's in there. Maybe adventure. I always love some good adventure. But it's a little thick. I'm thinking maybe a thinner one. But again, that's purple, and I don't have purple in there, so I'm not loving that. I mean, there's a little bit of purple now that I add that in. I think I'm going to do, let's do adventure, because there's usually some sort of adventure going on in my life. So let's do that. And we can stick that here. I think I'm probably going to have to do maybe some letters. I just don't know. I want a generic title, right, that everybody could use, but I think I just need something blocky to go here. And I'm going to probably use our new, I'm going to put the adventure here, I think. I'm probably going to use the new letters that I just got. I'll show them to you in a second. I just got to think of a good, springy, generic title that everybody could use. We have the happy days, so I don't know if we'll just do like spring vibes maybe, or I don't know, spring hike, I don't know. Not everybody hikes, right? So I'm going to stick this here, and that's going to still give me that little bit of journaling room. We've still got the kind of little bubble here. I feel like I need to add something down here just so you have that visual 3, right? But first, let me just show you what I'm going to do the title with. If I can find them here. Hold on. I don't know what the title's going to be yet. If I can find what I did with them. Hold on. I just got them. Where'd they go? Maybe I'm not going to show you because I don't know what I did with them. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Here they are. They're here. So look at these, you guys. If you're a scrapbooker, this party alphabet die is fabulous. Look at this. Ready? Check these babies out. Won't those be nice? It's just kind of coming up with what I want for the title. But look it, so that would be perfect. So if I can get like a 4-letter title, or maybe something that kind of spans a little bit, or goes, maybe even goes down, that would be really good. So any ideas for the title that would be generic that you would want to use, feel free to pop them in the comments here. Because I'm not going to do that quite yet. I got to think a little bit more about what I want for the title. And I might, like what I'll probably do for class is give them like this peachy color, I think, maybe, for like a big piece, so that they can pick out whatever title they want for themselves, and then they can die cut that in class. So that will be, you know, something where they get to do a little hands-on. And then maybe we'll do a little bit of stamping. But this is really, really fun alphabet. It's called Party Alphabet, and it's just a really good size for scrapbooking titles. So that's what I'm going to do up here. I think the rest of this is pretty well done. I'll probably add some bling, and like I said, I'll probably put something down here, but I'm kind of limited with what's left here because there's not a lot left that I can use for the colors on here. I mean, I could use Time Together, A Perfect Place, but I feel like we've got a lot of blue already in place. So I could use the big smiles over here. I could use this too, so I might stick that somewhere, but I'm kind of happy with what's here. I probably will go through my photos maybe and figure out what photos I'm going to use, and then that will help me dictate what my title is. But so there you go. We just designed a layout for my class. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any thoughts on what I should put as the title, feel free to pop those in the comments below. We will definitely do some bling. Like, I'll probably put some bling here in the rose, in the flower centers, and then kind of spread those out. Probably here in this little white area, I'll put some bling, and then some up here too around the journaling. So definitely some finishing touches to do, but I'm happy with this. So thanks so much for joining me for today's different, oh, we didn't do this either. So I still have this, and I may use that somewhere too. I'm just not sure where. So I will definitely show you the finished one. And this may be something that is a layout that's offered in my class, in my store at some point too, once I finish this up. So thanks so much for joining me for my process. I hope you guys got some value in seeing somebody else create a layout, if that's helpful. I can do more of these. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them below. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you again next week for more crafting. Have a great week. Bye for now.